Okay, hello everybody. Can you hear me well?
Hello, Bante.
Nice.
Everyone, can you please unmute? Everyone, can you please unmute? Thanh Ngọc, Thảo Liên. Can you put your hand at your chest? Everyone, please say hello, Venerable Sir.
Oh, Venerable Sir.
Nice. Hello everyone. So it seems like the organizers today are almost the same amount as the students. Right? You have 3 organizers and, well, 6 students. So, what happened? Do you have some holidays, or people are ill, or something's happening? Oh, you don't have the Burmese here, right? I don't see Isabella. I don't see Jack. Okay, so let's start with meditation. You can sit in a comfortable meditation posture. Make sure your legs, hands, and face are visible and that your back is erect. And we will cast the sight down and make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, for 12 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 12 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 12 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy. And changing. We continue to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head, we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be heavy. And changing. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy and changing. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes, we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy and changing. And we allow all of the parts of the body to be changing. And as we give the freedom to the body to be the way it is, we enjoy freedom from worry about the body. Let's enjoy this freedom. Let's watch this peace. Now let's share our peace with other living beings. We can start in our room. We don't force, we don't expect. We just allow in our minds voicelessly. May all beings in this room be in peace. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in this city or village be in peace. May all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings on this continent be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that determination, we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. And we can take one more minute to enjoy the peace we gained in meditation. We will be watching our mind without any movement, whatever is the feeling, thought, or seeing, hearing, and so on. We will curiously watch that. Very well. So everybody can come close to your camera, and we will look at our recitation. And today we'll do recitation without the paper, because I think you already know the recitation very well. So I gradually want to teach you how to take the recitation without the paper. We will later take the paper again to recite in the Burmese pronunciation, but for the time being, I believe you still need some more training to recite with the Sri Lankan pronunciation. Alright, so everybody can unmute. So I'm waiting until everybody unmutes. Max, Jake, Daolin. So I'm waiting until... I see you have some construction works there. I suppose Jake has the same. Okay. But Taolin surely can unmute. Okay. So you can keep your hands together at the chest. Yamahang vadami tang vadetha. Okay, let's try it again. I didn't hear much. Yamahang vadami tang vadetha. Okay, that's much better. Aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yachami. Anuggahang katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Dutiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yachami. Anuggahang katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Tatiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yachami. Anuggahang katva. Silang detha me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato.
And today we will make a little upgrade. And now in Myanmar, when the monk says Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa, he says it one time. But the people say it 3 times. So now, because this is a Zoom meeting and it's a little bit difficult in terms of sound, you will need, let me see what's the English word. You will need a conductor. You will need a musical director. Okay, so I will need to show you that one time is finished, so that all of you wait for my signal, and then you can start the second time. Then I will again make a signal, and then you can do third time. Okay, this is only in Zoom. This is totally unnecessary when it's offline. So after you recite one time and I feel like you have finished one time, then I will nod with my head. All right, and then when you right as I nod, it means you can start the second time. Then after you finish your second time, I will again nod my head so that you can do third time. All right, so let's try it again. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa.
Great. Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami.
Buddham saranam gacchami, dhammam saranam gacchami, sangham saranam gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddham saranam gacchami, dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami, dutiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddham saranam gacchami, tatiyampi dhammam saranam gacchami, tatiyampi sangham saranam gacchami.
Saranagamanang paripunnang. So, Taolin, what is the first precept? I cannot hear you. Come close to the camera. No, I cannot hear you at all. Can you come close to the microphone and maybe check whether your microphone is on your device? No, I cannot hear you yet. Tutam, any idea what could be the reason that we cannot hear Taolin?
I have no idea, Bante.
No idea. But sometimes it happens, right? So far, always when it happened, it seemed like on their device they had their microphone off. It's also in my case, because I have separate button for the microphone, so I can turn off the microphone, and even though here I'm not muted, you cannot hear me. So I just press the button on my microphone and you can hear me. So I think the others may have that too. At least in some other cases I have noticed it was the same. So Taolin, any way how to make your microphone working? No, we cannot hear you at all. Totally nothing. Taolin, there is a setting for microphone in Zoom. What about to go to that setting and check whether you have the right device? One day it happened that I had an external monitor, and the external monitor also has a kind of like it has speaker. That was a speaker problem, and it moved to that speaker, and I was totally unable to hear anyone. And so I changed the correct speaker in Google Meet, but it still didn't work. And then I found out that I need to change the speaker in Windows, and then it worked. Can you tell us hello or something? No, totally nothing. Alright, so I think you will have to resolve that maybe later with someone else. So, Lum Min Don, can you tell me what is the first precept?
The first precept is not killing.
Perfect.
Others.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Yes. Max, what is the second precept? Yeah, let's try. You can unmute and we'll see if we can bear the noise. Seems like Max is maybe writing something. Max, if you can unmute and tell us what is the second precept. Yeah.
I didn't hear you. The second precept is not stealing.
Not stealing, yes. Adinadana vera manisikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinadana Vedana Sikaparam
Samadhiyami.
Yes. Even though I cannot hear you, you can still say it out loud. So I can see your mouth that you're saying it. Okay, so Tango, what is the third precept?
I think like don't have a sexual relationship with someone that already have a wife or husband.
Yes. And also not have sexual relationship with someone else than one's own husband or wife. Very well. Kame sumicchācārā vēramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. So from Tumchi, what is the fourth precept?
The fourth precept is refraining from false speech.
Yes, what does that mean?
It means that not telling lies.
Yes. Musavada vēramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Okay, Isabella, what is the fifth precept?
The fifth precept is to not take alcohol or drugs.
Surameraya majjapamadatthana vēramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Surameraya maya padamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Okay, so Surameraya, and then it is Majja, alright? It is Majja Pamadatthana. Ch10. Can you repeat after me? Sura Meraya Majja Pamadatthana. Yes, perfect, very well. So these are the 5 precepts, and now I will encourage you all to follow them and protect them very well. Tisaranena saddhing panchasilang dhammang sadhukang surakkhitan katva appamadena sampadethang.
Amabante.
May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be successful in everything you do.
Sadhu.
Alright, so now let's get into our 2 questions. First, how many times did you meditate the last 7 days? So you still have 3 people more to vote, so we are waiting for you. Check your screen, make sure that you have voted. If not, just tell us the answer. Still waiting for 2 people more. Alright, so we have 9 out of 11 have voted. Well, that's not so bad. So now the result is pretty good. So all of you meditated at least 3 times. All of you. I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Considering the fact that many of you are traveling here and there and doing a lot of other stuff, this is very good. Now if you can add 1 more, then you could have 5. That would be pretty good. So I'm happy with this result. So now the main task is to maintain it. Make sure that really every week you meditate every day so that in the end you end up with at least 4 times a week. Okay, so let's look at the second question. When did you do your homework? So it's ready. Everybody please come and tell us. We're still waiting for two out of you. So check whether you have already answered. If not, please answer. Okay, so this is not that good. We get 2 out of you did homework within the first 3 days, and the rest were a little later. So doing homework as early as you can is the way to be peaceful. And if you can do homework as soon as you can, well, then you do not get stressed. So the peace and the satisfaction are very good. Now, what if you do your homework very early and then you find out that something got wrong? Well, then you still have plenty of time to correct it. Now, if you do not do your homework on time, if you do it late and then something is wrong, well, then you don't have time to do any corrections or improvement. So this is not that important for our class, but at school and in your work, in your job, this will be very important. As soon as you do things early than expected, then there is more opportunity for you to make corrections and in the end submit an amazing work. If you do it on the last minute, well, then you cannot do it. So then you end up mediocre, and as mediocre you will get mediocre benefits. So always think about the benefits of doing your work as soon as possible. Alright, so Tung Chi, Taolin, and Isabella, can you please raise your hand? I will ask you to read your homework. I'm still waiting for
Maybe because Thailand have the problem with the technical problem, so I would like to ask Jake to read the homework instead.
Okay. Actually, when Max unmuted and spoke, I didn't hear any noise at all, so you do not need to worry that much. So Jake the same. Don't worry to unmute Zoom. Zoom is pretty clever in denoising the sound. So Isabella, can you please read for us your homework?
Chapter 9, Pot. Page 141. Pot is now regarded by many experts as a gateway drug, leading to the use of more dangerous illicit substances. Page 148. When pot smokers claim that colors are more beautiful, music is more profound, and taste is more acute than when they're not high. This is because the flood of THC has caused this part of the amygdala to overreact.
Mm-hmm. So that doesn't make actually much sense to me. So if I remember well, when somebody smokes pot, the music actually is more colorful, and colors, well, I don't remember that. but definitely a taste is very intensive. And then they say when they're not high. So does it mean, oh, when these objects are not high? I thought when the people are not high. What is high here? Is the high related to the objects or to the people? Isabella, how do you understand it?
Well, if I understand it, when there's pot smokers claim that because they're more beautiful, music is more profound and tastes more acute when they're not high. From what I understand, it like everything is more better when they're not high, but at the same time, it's also like really nice when they're high.
I see. Because then if this high is related to the objects, well, then it makes sense, right? So they are more beautiful when these objects are not that high, when they're not so special. So then that makes a little more sense, right?
But this pot makes them feel like more happier, even though everything looks worse or sounds worse or tastes worse.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that now do you also feel that the sentence doesn't make much sense? That it's contradicting. If the high means yeah, you see it. It's because the flood of THC has caused this part of amygdala to overact. So I think this word not, it doesn't have to be there, and then it will make so much more sense. Right? So let's read again. When pot smokers claim that colors are more beautiful, music is more profound, and taste is more acute, then more. I see. There's this more. I missed that. They are more than when they are not high. Okay, got it. Very good. It's actually correct. So then what to do with that? So the amygdala is making the brain behave a different way and show different things than they really are there. The main problem, I think, however, is the memory. So with smoking pot, memory gets worse and worse, and that can have disastrous results, as I have already described in our past class. Alright, thank you very much. Let's continue to Pham Tung Chi.
Chapter 9, Pot, page 111. Cannabis is the only plant that contains the unique class of molecular compounds or metabolites known as cannabinoids, including tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, which is largely responsible for marijuana's peculiar physiological and pharmacological effects. And the second one is page 113. Once endocannabinoids were discovered, researchers began to find them everywhere, and they are especially dense in key brain areas involved in cognition, memory, emotion, motor coordination, and motivation.
Yes. So we actually learn that certain chemicals that are included that appear in THC, that appear in cannabis, actually already appear in our brain naturally. So that's why the cannabis can have so much influence on us, because it's something that we already have and it's getting increased, and therefore what we are experiencing starts to be experienced more, or so-called higher. Thank you very much. Jake?
In the last 5 years, marijuana abuse has been responsible for almost 2/3 of admissions teenagers ages 15 to 19 to rehabilitation centers, compared with less than 1/3 for alcohol. And on page 152, the last 5 years, several studies have shown that verbal IQ actually is decreased in people who have smoked daily, starting before age 17, compared with people who smoked in the latter age.
Verbal IQ is getting worse anyway, right? Among the teenagers today. Teenagers are speaking simpler and simpler and simpler. And that definitely doesn't support their intelligence and their ability to perceive and understand reality better. Kids, when they don't know how to talk until about their age of 3, they do not know how to talk, and therefore they later do not remember what happened at that time. It's believed it's because they don't know how to label that. When you don't know how to label your experience, how to describe it vividly, then it is much easier to forget it. When your experience is special, well, then you remember it. If you have special words for your experience, well, then you can remember it. And today's science says what we are is our memory. Our memory is the ultimate character of our self. So the better you can express yourself, the better you can speak, the better you can describe in words, in exact words, the higher probability there is that you will remember your experiences and whatever you have learned. Alright, so thank you very much. That was pretty good. Now I will read for you my note. Okay, pot. Mentally, marijuana causes an altered state of consciousness that is perceived as relaxation, pleasure, and even euphoria. Ordinary sensory experiences such as eating, listening to music, or watching a movie are intensified. Anxiety is usually decreased, but sometimes marijuana can increase it instead and can also cause depression or paranoia. In their early teens, pot-smoking adolescents have been shown to have smaller whole brain volume, reduced gray matter, and increased damage to white matter compared to non-users. The damage, scientists say, can still be seen in the brain scans of chronic users well into adulthood. There is evidence that schizophrenics have less white matter than normal people, and this pattern is also seen in those who have used pot chronically during adolescence. The risk of schizophrenia is also 2 to 5 times higher than normal in people who used marijuana chronically during adolescence. Imaging studies of human brains show that white matter in the corpus callosum, the area that joins the two hemispheres of the brain together, is thinner and less myelinated in those who used marijuana chronically during adolescence. Now, what is corpus callosum for? Corpus callosum helps your brain to work properly, because whatever you do, you need both halves of your brain. Now, if your brain cannot communicate part to part, well, then the work is very poor. All right, communication is very important, not only among people, but also among hemispheres of your brain. So if you smoke, well, then your brain cannot provide the necessary potential to support you in your happiness, in resolving your problems, in your social relationships, and so on. So it becomes very poor. Why would you make it poor, right? Why would you try to reduce your potential, to reduce your intelligence, to reduce your memory, to reduce your health? I don't see any reason for that. Okay, Jake, do you have something to say? Okay. So now let's look at our Okasa recitation. The time runs so fast, right? We just had some meditation and read a few sentences, suddenly it's gone. Okay, so we have Okata. Alright. So I would like to ask everyone to unmute. Lang Min Tuan, please you can unmute. And we can keep our hands together at the chest, and you can repeat after me. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me.
Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me.
In order that all of the faults, sabbadosa,
In order that all of the
done by body, kaya kamma,
Done by
speech, vachi kamma,
speech,
or mind, mano kamma, disappear,
or mind, disappear.
for the first time, for the second time, for the third time,
For the first time, for the second time, third time.
patama dutiya tatiya, completing 3 times.
Completing 3 times.
I respectfully and humbly pay respect and worship
I respectfully pay respect and worship
the jewel of Buddha, the jewel of Dhamma, the teachings,
the jewel of Buddha, the jewel of Dhamma, the teachings,
and the jewel of Sangha, the community of monks,
and the jewel of Sangha, the community of monks,
the 3 jewels, Venerable Sir.
the 3 jewels of Buddha.
Okata, Okata, Okata,
Okasa, Okasa, Okasa,
Kayakan, Wasikan, Manokan,
Kayakan, Wasikan, Mokan,
Sabadota,
Sabatota,
Katendo,
Katendo,
Afietoko,
Pietoko,
Piaupa Sechen,
Piaupa Sechen,
Ajo Nga,
Achonga,
Patama Dutiya Tatiya,
Patama Tatiya,
Tichain, Nachain, Tongchain, Miao Ao, Faya Yatana, Taya Yatana, Tengha Yatana, Yatana Miatong Padogo, Ayu Ate Ali Amya, Le Omu Yue, Shiko Puzo, Pumyo Masho, Gadopai,
Low value.
Ishenpeya. Very well. Now we still have a few minutes, so let's look at the first few things. So this will be just explaining, not reciting it. So now in the next sentence we have Kadoya do Kao Mokan Setana do Jao. Due to the goodness due to the intentional action kamma and intention, the intentional kamma chetana and goodness of paying respect. And now you are basically saying, because of this good deed of paying respect to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, may you be free from many undesirable things. And now there is this list of the undesirable things that you want to be free from, and we will be looking at the first one. So may I be free, may I be liberated. It's more accurate. May I be liberated from all. And this is actually this portion. Ma aka katain ken lu. What is this? Nyen di pshire. Will have to be nyen di pshire. There's a mistake. Nyen di pshire. Ken lu nyen di pshire. Liberated. And and free, and there may be a better word for that. May I be liberated, free from all. And today we will be looking at this first list, and that's the four realms of woe. So does anyone here know what is woe? If you know what is woe, W-O-E, please raise your hand. This is a language question. If you know what is woe in English, W-O-E, please raise your hand. Anyone? Even if you have just an idea, an inkling, what could it be? You can also raise your hand. What could that be? Whoa. It's not W-O-W, that's something else. Okay. So Jake, what is woe?
It's kind of like sadness or grief.
Yes. Woe here means suffering. Okay, it's another word for suffering. So realms of woe are the worlds of suffering. Worlds where you suffer pain, worlds where you suffer loss. And there are four such worlds. And they are first world of hell, then we have world of animals, then we have world of ghosts, and then we have another world of ghosts. So we have two worlds of ghosts. All right. Now the fourth world is the world of rather gods, but they are understood as they're lower than human realm. So the fifth realm is human realm. So these are four realms that are below the realm of humans. but the realm that's below humans previously actually was above humans, so it's a little complicated. So the Buddha, when he speaks about these realms of woe or the worlds of suffering, he actually mentions only three: hell, animals, and ghosts. So as you can see, as soon as we get a little deeper into Buddhism, it becomes very complicated. So there is this story by which I will finish the teaching today, and then we will be continuing with some more information. So I want to explain to you these four realms, and I want you all to remember them until the end of your life. So for that, you will all need a notebook. So from our next class, you will need a notebook and a pen. Alright? You will need a notebook and a pen, or you will need an iPad or something where you can write down notes consistently, so that if I ask you after another 3 months, can you please pop up your notebook, you will just have it at hand and you will pop it up, instead of saying, oh, I lost it, I don't have it anymore, like that. No, I've heard it so many times that I'm tired of that. So please find such a notebook that is beautiful, that is nice, and that you can maintain for a long time, namely until the end of this course year. The course year finishes in February. So you need to have a notebook that you can maintain all the way until February, even if you don't use it for many months. Alright. Ch10, do you have something to say? No.
No.
Okay.
No.
So you will all need some notebook, and if you want to use a software on your software or app, it needs to be something ideally that is updated, that is, how do you call it, kept in the cloud. So if you use an Evernote or OneNote or Microsoft what's that called? Microsoft 365 or something like that, and you can keep your notes online, then that's pretty good. So that when you visit your grandma or your grandpa and so on, and I say, can you please take your notebook? You say, yes, I can, rather than no, I can't. So I would like to encourage you all to have a notebook, either electronic or paper, which you always have with you when we have a class. All right, then it's difficult if you write your notes on a paper here, on a paper there, then you will not have them together. So then that's not so good. So you will need a notebook and pen for the next time. And now the story is coming. So there was a group of gods in the heaven of 33. So we believe in Buddhism that the world somehow, I don't know why, how, you can ask me, but I'm not sure I will answer satisfactorily. We believe that the world is flat, and that in the middle there is a huge mountain. Maybe it's not this world as this planet, maybe it's some spiritual world, some other realm to which you have to come through a special hidden portal, and probably you would anyway. So it's a little more complicated, but the spiritual world is flat, at least. And this world, which is flat, has 4 islands, and in the middle of these islands there is a huge mountain, which is so high that if it was on the earth, our earth would be a little birthmark on that mountain. The mountain is such a huge mountain that our planet would be just a little birthmark, like, a little pimple on that mountain. So huge is that mountain. So we cannot say that the mountain is on this planet, because there is no way how we could stuff it in this planet. There is a way how you could stuff the planet in the mountain, but not how you could stuff the mountain in. It's so huge. It's like 840,000 miles high, 840,000 miles deep. So that's a lot, right? That's 1,680,000 miles. That's a lot. and it's surrounded by an ocean, and in that ocean there are 4 islands, and one of them is ours. How is our island different from the others? There are humans on the other islands, but they have different lifespan. So on our island we have changing lifespan with periods. So sometimes people have 10 years lifespan, sometimes 100, sometimes 10,000, sometimes 400,000 years in one life. But on the other islands it's not like that. So on the island in the north they have lifespan 1,000 years. On the island in we are in the south, so on the island of the north it's 1,000. I think in the east they have 500, and in the west they have 250 years lifespan. On our island, which is the so-called the island of the rose apple tree, so on this island in the south we have a very varying lifespan. And then in the middle there is this huge mountain called Meru or Sineru, and then on the top of that huge mountain, which is 840,000 miles above the sea level, above the ocean level, there is a heaven, and that heaven is called the heaven of 33. But before it was not called heaven of 33 because there were no 33. I will tell you who are the 33 in a little while. And so in that heaven there were many gods. Now what happened is that a gentleman with 22 friends, I think so, a gentleman with 22 friends in the human world was doing many good deeds. He was building bridges, he was building houses, he was building rest houses, and he was trying to make them as beautiful as possible. And as they were building things for people, by the power of this good merit, they were born in that heaven. Now this their leader, who was called Magha as human, but then he was called Sakka as God. He, as the god Sakka, he was their leader, he was the king. But the previous gods there, they were very welcoming. They were not bad at all, and they welcomed the new king. But they said, we will divide the kingdom into 2, and you will have 1/2 of the kingdom. Well, they gave 1/2 of their kingdom just because there is a newcomer. I think that's not bad, but the story is not that nice. So they gave him 1/2, but you know what Sakka did? He got them drunk. He invited them for a festival, he got them drunk, and then when they were drunk, he took them by legs and he threw them away from the heaven. I don't think that's a good thing. Well, that's the way we have it described. Maybe we are missing something, as usually we are missing when stories are told. But this is so far what I have read. So he threw them away, and they were falling from this mountain, falling down and down and down and down. And by the power of their good deeds in the past, a beautiful heavenly-like world appeared at the foot of the mountain Meru, right at the shore, of the ocean. So they didn't go below the ocean. The mountain Meru is either like this, or it is actually like this. In Mahayana they paint it like this, and in the middle there is this ocean. A little weird, right, to have a mountain like that, but some people understand it that way. But it makes a lot of sense, because if you have to have a whole heaven, on the top, well, then you want to have a lot of space there. So it makes sense that it's upside down. Then these asuras, we call them asuras because after they fell down, they saw that they were kicked out because they were drinking alcohol, or not because, but as they were, that was the pretext. So they were kicked out as they were drinking alcohol, and they decided, we were kicked out as we were drinking alcohol. We will never drink alcohol anymore. Sura means, you already know, it's alcohol. You know it from the precept, Sura, Meraya, Majja, and so on. Sura means alcohol. Asura means those who do not drink alcohol. So that's why we call them asuras. But even though their world is very beautiful and their lifespan is very long, I don't know, but it could be thousands, millions and millions of years. So even though their lifespan is so long, still their world is a little bit lower than the islands of the humans. So we take them as the lower realm. So asuras, they are not happy with the situation. So they wage war with the gods of the heaven 33. Our scriptures say that when the asuras were kicked out, the people, the gods of the heaven were rejoicing. So it is possible that the asuras actually were a kind of like oppressive government in the heavens. But that's a detail that we do not have in the scriptures. We only know that after they were kicked out, the population of the heaven were rejoicing, and they were thankful to the 33, to the new 33 gods. Okay, so now the 4 realms of suffering are hell, animal realm, ghosts, and the realm of asuras. Alright, and we will continue next time. It was a pleasure to see everybody. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you soon attain the eternal bliss of Nibbana.
Sadhu.
Thank you very much, Dante. Everyone, can you please unmute? Can you put your hand at your chest? We have. Please say goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Nice, thank you. Goodbye.